Oh, hello, and welcome back to Study English with Frank. And I know I'm the one that has been gone for the last 6 months. You have probably still continued to come to this channel, and I hope that you've been able to use this time that I've been away to take a look at all of the other videos that we have posted over the last year or so. There's about 80 lessons now on our channel that you can go back to and find and learn from. And I hope that you've used your time well and that you've learned a lot of English. And today we're going to continue our study on the internet and ways to get on the internet. And I have on my table a lot of ways that you can use to get on the internet. And when you talk about these things collectively, you can use the term devices. What device do you use to get on the internet? There's many different ways that you can jump on the internet that we talked about last time. You know, here's a smartphone, for example, and I can get my emails, I can watch videos on my smartphone. And I know that in many languages that you might be coming from as you watch our videos here, some of these terms, because they're recent terms, may have been adopted by your own particular language. But just in case, if some of you aren't aware of some of these terms, let's learn the English term for some of these devices. Now, this is a phone. But because I can use it for more than a phone, in fact, I hardly ever use this as a phone. I'm usually using it to read my emails or read articles on the internet, maybe watch a video on the internet. We call this not just a phone, but we call it a smartphone. It's smarter than a regular phone. Maybe some of you are too young to remember regular phones, but I grew up in the days when there were just phones hooked up to a wire in the wall and you had to dial the number. Well, that was a regular phone. And even when cell phones first came out, that would be another term that maybe we should have you learn. This is a cell phone. A cell phone. In other words, you can get phone calls when you're out and about because of the cell phone towers that are everywhere. And each tower is able to reach your phone in a certain cell that's been designated for that tower. And so they call it cell phones. So it's a cell phone, it's a smartphone, and it's just a regular phone. Right? But this is not the only way that we can get on the internet. We can also get on with a tablet. This is a tablet. It's larger than a phone, with a little bit of ingenuity and the right card to receive a SIM card. I suppose you could make this into a phone as well, but most people just use a tablet as a way to get on the internet, to watch YouTube videos, maybe watch Study English with Frank on their tablet. And so we call it a smart tablet because we can get onto the internet with it. A smart tablet. Other people might call it more by the brand name of the tablet. So people might say this is an iPad because it is an Apple device. And if it is an Android tablet, they might call it by the brand name of the company that sold the tablet. They might say, this is my Samsung tablet, if it's a Samsung. But it is a tablet, or you can think of it as a device. A device works for the tablet. This is a device to get on the internet. This is also a device to get on the internet. And I have here a watch. Now, it's not just any type of watch. It's a smart watch. A smart watch. Why is it smart? Well, not only is it a regular watch, but it does all sorts of other things. It can record your heartbeat and other I don't even know what all it can do. But the real thing that why they call it a smartwatch is you can get your emails on the watch. This is not mine. I bought this for my wife, TK. But it has really been adopted or taken over by my daughter, An. She's the one that is using this all the time now. I had to borrow it from her to show you a smartwatch. Well, you've probably seen these before, but the English term for it is a smart watch. And it's smart because it does a lot more than just tell the time, including being able to access the internet. All right, what else do we have that can access the internet? Well, you probably know this term in your language as well. It's a laptop computer. And we can use this laptop computer, if you have a Wi-Fi connection to it, to get on the internet. And that's important for all of these devices. We wouldn't be able to get on the internet with the phone to get our emails unless it is in the proximity, it's close by, a Wi-Fi signal. And you have to know the password even to get onto that Wi-Fi signal. But because we have Wi-Fi coming to our house here, all of our devices have already been connected to the Wi-Fi, and it remembers the connection. And so whenever our devices are inside the house, they're automatically connecting to the internet. So I can take my laptop and open it up and be instantly on the internet. And I can use this as a device to access the internet. But in addition to being called a device, it's also a laptop computer. When I first started working with computers, the only computers that were available were big desktop computers. But I think it was maybe 1991 or 92. No. I remember now, 94, that I got my first laptop. And it was just an amazing thing to be able to have a device that I could carry around with me and be able to type and take notes. And I was a student at the time, and so I could take it to class and take notes on my laptop computer. It was just an amazing thing. But now these days, students are more likely to leave this at home or in their dorm room because it's so heavy, they say, and just take their tablet, and you can get a little keyboard that attaches to the tablet, have it upstairs, and be able to just bring this right out of their backpack and take notes from their lecture at their school on their tablet device. So there's many uses for this device, not just getting on the internet, but also being able to use it in many ways. Taking notes, watching TV. In fact, that's another smart device that you might have in your home. TVs are now, when you buy a brand new TV, I don't know if they call it this in your country, but in Canada we call them smart TVs. Why are they smart TVs? They can get on the internet. I can watch YouTube videos on my smart TV. I can access the internet. I can access YouTube and watch Study English with Frank, or Study English with TK and all of the other channels on YouTube right on my TV that we have in our bedroom. And so that's really nice, a smart TV. In fact, these days, because the TVs are smart, a lot of people are what they call cutting the cable. Have you heard of this phrase in your country? Your friend might say, you know what? I've decided to cut the cable. And what they're saying is they are getting rid of their cable vision. For many, many years, people have been able to access hundreds of channels on their TV because of cable that is delivered to their house, and they just have to pay a monthly fee of about $70, $80, at least in Canada, sometimes more, depending on what you access. And then they can watch hundreds of channels, cable TV. But now, with smart TVs, because you are able to access the internet with a smart TV, you can now watch all of the streaming platforms on your smart TV. Have you heard of this word? Streaming platforms. If you haven't heard of that term, it's what they're talking about is Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Paramount Plus, Netflix. These are all streaming platforms where you can watch your TV shows and your movies that you want to watch on these streaming platforms. Now, they do charge you a monthly fee, and some people are a little bit dismayed that they have to pay a monthly fee. But the idea is that if you're cutting your cable, you're saving $60, $70 a month by cutting your cable. So you can use that money to pay the monthly fees for the streaming platforms, the Amazon Prime, the YouTube, the Netflix, Apple TV, Paramount Plus. There's many others, Hulu, that you can subscribe to and pay a monthly fee and watch your movies and TV that way. And the advantage that people really like about doing it this way, watching their TV programs and movies this way, is that there's no advertising. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the middle of watching a movie and I'm really engaged, I've lost myself in the fantasy of the movie, the last thing that I want to do or have happen is break my fantasy with an advertisement for shampoo. I just hate advertising to break up that experience of watching a movie. And that's what you still have to do when you subscribe to cable TV. But that's why people like to cut their cable, is so they no longer have to deal with advertising. And they can now watch all of their favorite programs with no more advertising. And speaking of no more advertising, did you know that you can also do that with Study English with Frank and Study English with TK, my wife? We are sharing we do YouTube, but we're sharing also a website where if you want to, just pay a small fee for, and you can watch all of the lessons for $50 a year. Just pay $50, and for a whole year you can watch all of our lessons with no advertising. And we find that students really like this because when you're trying to focus in on studying and learning a new language, the last thing you want to do is be distracted by the advertising on YouTube. So if that interests you, be sure to check out studyenglishwithus.com. My wife and I share that, so her program is more for Vietnamese, but If you look in the menu item that says Study with Frank, then you'll get all of my lessons that are directed at all languages. So no matter what language you come from, you can watch without advertising at studyenglishwithus.com. Well, that's it for our lesson today. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter in this season because I know that people are busy and maybe they only have 10 minutes or so to watch a video. So this season, we're going to try and keep our lessons shorter and try and come out with them quite regularly. I've got a lot more to talk about in this little mini-series of the internet. So we're going to learn a lot more terms about the internet in our next lesson. I hope to see you there, and enjoy the day, and we'll see you next time here at Study English with Frank. So long for now.